Hi, it's March 22nd, and this is your daily devotion. So, if you've been in church, you'll know that we've been doing a sermon series called The Lord of the Dance, and the metaphor of dance is being used to help us to think about our Christian walk. How do we do things God's way? How do we dance with Jesus? How do we go in the way that God would have us to go? And so I've been thinking lately that, God called the children to come to Him. And infants, even very tiny infants, will move to a good beat, to the music. They'll hold on to their cribs and just move, and even infants, before they can stand, will respond to songs that we sing to them. I could never sing Rockabye Baby to one of my kids because it was sad to him and it would just make him cry. So I didn't sing that song to get him to sleep. But it is the nature of children to respond instinctively and honestly to the stimulus of music and to the stimulus of life. It is the nature of children to respond to what is, to the reality that's in front of them without an agenda. Me, not so much. If I'm honest, I want to respond to what I want to be my reality. I want to push my agenda through. And so then sometimes I experienced a conflict between the way that I want things to be and the way that things are, or the way, this one's even a bigger one probably, the way that God is calling me to go and the way that I want to go, doggone it. When the reality is not what I want it to be, and I can't get my way, my selfish way, I become frustrated and I just don't want to dance. It's not a good beat. It's not easy to dance to. You may remember, if you're my age, American Bandstand, and all these little young people were dancing, and there's these three young people up in the room with Dick Clark, and they're rating the song. And the thing that they would almost always say if they liked the song was, "Oh yes, I will rate it an 85 because it's got a good beat and it's easy to dance to." Well, some music is not easy to dance to, even when we're dancing with Jesus. And Jesus certainly knows that. Jesus has certainly danced to some very hard and sad tunes. In fact, if you're dancing with Jesus, you can expect that your way is not always the way of Christ, that you're going is not always going to be the easy route. And yet we want it to be, I want it to be, and so our tendency is to try to have it both ways. And Jesus was constantly talking about that, or just to pretend to say, yes, I'm going God's way, but what we're really doing is going our own way. The book of James will really have something to say to us. This book has been running through my mind lately. In James, and he has some hard stuff to hear, but James cautions against being double-minded. Either you're going God's way or you're not. You're going your own selfish way. You can't follow both leads. You can't dance to both of those beats. You can't have it both ways. You can try, but if you do, there's going to be conflict and distress. James 4:1. Those conflicts and disputes among you, where do they come from? Do they not come from your cravings that are at war within you? And then down in verse 7, submit yourselves therefore to God. Resist the devil and he will flee from you. Draw near to God and he will draw near to you. Cleanse your hands, you sinners, and purify your hearts, you double-minded. James, you need to focus on God. And there will be lots of grace. Grace is in there if you read the whole thing, but you're making it hard for yourself. We in the South would say you're cutting off your nose to spite your face if you're trying to have it both ways. In verse 13, come now, you who say, today or tomorrow we will go to such and such a town and spend a year there and do business and make money. You do not know what tomorrow will bring. What is your life? For you are a mist that appears for a little while and then vanishes. Instead, you ought to say, if the Lord wishes, I will live and I will do this or that. So it's not that it's wrong to have plans, but don't think that you're always going to get your way. Look to God first, and then all the other things will come. We have been given this brief moment to dance upon the earth. And while we'd like to choose our own music, we very seldom get to do that. And Jesus knows, and Jesus experienced that sometimes the music we are given to dance to is scary and sad and hard. But still, God calls us to keep on dancing. That's when Jesus holds his hand out and says, you're not alone in this. I'm leading you in this dance. And he teaches us to dance as we go. The Spirit of God is forming us. It's informing us. It's transforming us so that our steps, if we keep dancing, are coming and becoming day by day by day, more and more like the steps of Jesus, because he is the one that's leading us. He's already danced from sadness to joy, from death to life. So look to Jesus. Follow in his steps. Stand on his feet if you have to. He won't mind. And keep on dancing. Have a great day.